First of all, this is the beautiful thing about life. Life meets you where you find it. If you decide to wake up today and you say, I'm going to quit smoking, do you know what? I still tell my patients it doesn't matter if you decide to quit smoking today that you're 55 to 20 years ago when you started. You will still make a difference. You will still improve your health. You will still reduce your chances of lung cancer. You will still reduce your chances of chronic obstructive disease. You will still get benefits even at quitting smoking at 55 to the 25-year-old. So it is exactly the same thing with your purpose. Just because you discover your purpose at 35 or 55 does not mean that you still cannot give 40 years, 30 years, however long that you have to this purpose, and it not still be just as worthwhile, if not so meaningful, if not more even meaningful than the person that luckily discovered hers or his at 18. So that's the first thing I really want to tell you, that the great news is actually recognizing that you do have a purpose on this earth, that you are here for more than just your own personal desires. And this is often the hardest part, recognizing that. So whatever beautiful age you are at right now, you've actually done the hardest bit, realizing that, you know what, I've been smoking for 20 years. I really think I should give this up. You know what? I've been living a life where I've just been drifting. I've just been seeing how things go. And I actually know that there's more to this. I have realized that God is really important. I have realized that a relationship with God is something that I want to pursue. Guess what? He accepts you, whatever age you come to him. That is the beauty of him giving us a purpose. He accepts us whether we wake up to this at 15 or we wake up to it at 75. You are not too late. I think this is often the thing in life, is that we compare ourselves. We say, well, so-and-so appear to be living their best lives. So-and-so appear to have everything in line. They've done this at that age. They've been able to pursue their career, get married, whatever it is that you may be looking at and thinking, well, my life doesn't look like so-and-so and so. But this is the problem. Your purpose is not tied to the time other people establish or reach their goals or their purpose. And that is often the thing, actually. Your purpose isn't one moment in your life. It isn't the day that you become that Oscar-winning actress. It is actually the rest of your life, how you continue to come out in that job, how you continue to reach people through your acting, through your cooking, through whatever it is that you decide, you determine that God has put you on this earth to. It isn't about that moment when you perhaps have that recognition externally. It's firstly when you recognize, Jessica, I have a purpose on this earth. I have prayed, I have spoken to God, and I believe that purpose is to be a healer, to be a storyteller, to be a mother. And then I'm going to pursue this. Perhaps when I became a doctor at 24. Yes, I may have established the initial part of that purpose, but I will go the rest of my life being a healer in whatever form that may be in. So the purpose didn't end the day I graduated from medical school. That was actually just the next step in it. The first part was recognizing. So that is the first thing. Today, at whatever age you are, you've recognized that I do have a purpose, that there is meaning greater than what I'm currently doing to my life. You've actually now started the first step of a multitude of steps that you will go through the rest of your life. So no, it is absolutely not too late. You've actually only just entered this beautiful elevator of a purpose-driven life. And it does not matter what age you have entered it in. I still remember the day that I realized that this life is more than just continuous sequences of random acts. It's more than just simply going to medical school, becoming a doctor, and living this life where I wasn't really conscious. And I remember realizing this moment, and I may have already told this story, but I remember realizing this moment during a ward round. I think I was during gastro or something at the time. And I remember thinking, I looked at my jobs list and I was like, I got about 40 jobs to do. And I think it was just me on the wards that day. And I was like, okay, I mean, just you know how to do this. You're very efficient at getting all your tasks done, even if you're the only junior doctor on the ward. But actually, I feel as if there's something more. There's something more that I'm supposed to be doing. And I made a little mental note and I was like, when I get off work, I need to follow this thought through and see where it leads me. And actually, I did that night and I started doing some research and reading. And I always go back to two things for me. Firstly, I always go to God. I say, God, help me understand what I'm feeling right now. Am I feeling frustrated because I am overworked? Or is there really a genuine feeling behind? Is there something that you want me to sort of understand and see in this moment? And he said yes. And I went deeper into that and I started looking at some philosophers. I love Aristotle. I'm big on philosophy. Theology and philosophy is like my thing. And I went to Aristotle. For some reason, I just felt that Aristotle had the answer. And he did. And he talks about the pursuit of happiness. And he says that you will only determine truly if you've had a happy life, a fulfilling life, when we come towards the ends of our days and we look back and we say, well, what did I spend my life doing? And do I feel that I was happy with what I felt I spent my life doing? So what I'm trying to tell you is, even if you have woken up to your purpose, I know I'm supposed to have a purpose and this is what it is, and you're 65, guess what? God may bless you with another 30 years. When you come to that moment, you will look back in the last 30 years and say, I've had an amazing life. Trust me, I tell you that those 30 years of you pursuing your purpose would have been worth you starting it at 60. Would not have mattered that you didn't realize this at 18. So that's the thing that I would also say to you, is that actually we don't get to evaluate the span of whether we lived a happy life till we actually come towards the end of it. And we look back and we say, you know what? The last 10 years, I pursued my purpose with every ounce in me. And it was beautiful. It was amazing. It was the most precious 10 years of my entire 100 years of life. Then you know your life has been meaningful. Your life has been purpose-driven. So don't say that I'm 60, I'm 40, I'm 35. There's no point. There is. Because you are going to have, God willing, a long life. So why not recognize that actually I could be gifted with 40 years and I'm going to start today. And maybe the thing is that you've just discovered God. Perhaps this is actually a spiritual enlightenment that you've had. It's not necessarily that you didn't recognize what you wanted to spend your life doing, your vision for your life. You are currently living that, whatever that may look like. It's actually the spiritual side that you've now come to recognize, that you felt this yearning and you recognize that it was God that was missing in your life. And you're thinking, well, what do I do with that at this stage in my life? Is this something worthwhile? Like those of you who are in relationship with God, who have pursued that relationship throughout your life, tell me that this thing that I'm feeling makes sense. I would tell you that the relationship with God not only is the most fulfilling, the most beautiful thing in my life every moment. It is the thing that saves me when I have a heartbreak. It is the thing that saves me when I'm like, oh my goodness, my indemnity has landed and I've got no money this month. It is the thing that saves me when I was sat in the UK thinking, there's no work for me as a GP. What do I do? Oh my goodness, am I actually going to have to go and get a job in Tesco again? Like, is this where I'm now? I've been a doctor for how many years and this is the situation. Guess what always pulls me out through these moments? It is God. I cannot recommend you pursuing this relationship. I honestly cannot. It is the most gratifying, the most beautiful thing that you will experience. And you need to take it slowly. I remember a friend who was on her spiritual journey and she was discovering God and looking at all the things that she wanted get out of that relationship and how to pursue that. And I told her, you cannot make this academic. A relationship with God is not academic. And what I mean by that is you cannot rationalize it. You cannot say, okay, if there is a God, why is there suffering? If there is a God, why am I not this not happening? That if you cannot have a relationship with God like that, because that is what the definition of God is. It is a person, a thing, however you want to describe it, that you cannot fathom with the human mind. So to even try and say that I will not believe in this thing, God, until I understand every single dimension of him, it, whatever, not the way to approach God. So just knowing that I have this yearning, I want to be closer to God. I want to discover what this having a relationship to God means to me is the first place to start. The next place I would say is figuring out how you want to have that relationship. And what I mean by that is, I remember for me, and this was when I was in uni, and I asked myself, do I want to be Catholic? Is this something that I actually want to be? Or is this something that Mum had fallen in love with the Catholic Church when we were living in Australia? Is this her thing, or is this something that I want? And what I did was I decided to go to multiple different churches. I went to a Baptist church. I think it was a Methodist church. I obviously went to the Catholic church. I went to a Pentecostal church, and I went to all of these different churches. And I realized something for me. I loved the Catholic Church. I loved the architecture. I loved the fact that there was this beautiful, deep, steep history. Some of it, absolutely, I am question. But that's the thing about religion, guys. It is man-made. You have to take some parts with a grain of salt. But there was this peace that I felt in the Catholic Church when I would sit. Like, I love opera music, classical music, and the Catholic Church, when you go to, especially if you go to a cathedral, and I was studying, I went to York Uni, and I was at the church there, the cathedral, and I remember just sitting there, and I thought, I feel at home here. I feel at home. There is this deep feeling of peace that I have here. Yes, I feel there's moments in other churches, but it is so much more profound in this church where I can hear my thoughts. And then some of the other churches, for me, I struggled with the whole, we're going to Kumbaya, the whole service. It's just, I know some people love that, and there's absolutely nothing wrong if that's the type of church you like. The point I'm making is, it's okay to explore. God invites you to explore. He invites you to figure out how you feel comfortable communicating with him. So do not feel that you have to immediately become this religion. You do not even have to feel that you have to ascribe to one. This is a journey, a personal journey for you. So take your time, read the Bible, go to different churches, talk to different people. Perhaps people just like yourself who have come to discover God later in life. But don't feel that you must corner yourself into one way of experiencing God. But I most heartily, if there's nothing else you take from this, and that is the thing you take, is that a relationship with God is paramount to my peace of mind, to my well-being, to discovering even more of what my purpose is. Even if you are living in it now, then I've done my job here. I absolutely have done my job here. I want to bring this all together for you. In case I still haven't convinced you that you can go after your purpose no matter what age you are, I want to give you 7 reasons why it is not too late, or you are not too old to still go after your purpose. Number 1, God is waiting for you, and he wants you regardless of the age you come to him. He has been patiently waiting, and he couldn't be happier that you've woken up to it, whatever today happens to be for you. 2, you needed to get to this in your own time. Perhaps had someone pushed you to it, convinced you of it years ago, you would have abandoned it. You would not have realized the fullest extent of the beauty of having a purpose-driven life. So you are exactly where you need to be. Number 3, there is sometimes a wisdom that comes with going after a vision, a dream later in life. You likely have some skills that will serve you well. patience, being able to not stumble at obstacles that come up during this journey. So actually, the skills that you've acquired will probably help you moving forward. Did I mention that there is no age limit to living a purpose-driven life, to starting to live your purpose? So that's number 4. Number 5, so long as you have today, this moment, you can still accomplish whatever you want to, but you have to seize today. 6, others have started their dreams later in life. Have you heard of Vera Wang? Exactly. There are lots of people in your same position who have come to this realization of what their purpose is later in life. Others have done it, and you don't even need to be a Vera Wang. The point is that you are not too old. Number 7, you may feel like you've done everything wrong. You may feel that your life is a bit of a mess right now. You may feel rejected by people around you. But he that has made you beautifully does not reject you. He sees you with all that mess, with all that doubt, and he loves you. And he wants you to come to him. And he wants you to live this life, that dream that he has put on your heart. So drown out that noise and realize that I was beautifully made in the image of God. And therefore it can never be too late for me to follow that purpose that he has given me. I want you to do something for me today. Not tomorrow, not next week, today. I want you to grab an A3 piece of paper. And in the middle, I want you to either write or put a picture of that vision, of that purpose that you have now recognized. And then I want you to you're going to do like a mind map from that of the actionable steps that you are going to take over the next 30 days to start putting the wheels in motion for your purpose.